I'm Dean Huppert, and this is the Keith Kinder Show, getting ready for South Bend Adams. You guys coming off a tough game at Chicago Marist. Got home late, but I'm sure you learned a lot in that game.
Yeah, we did learn a lot, and it took me a couple days to get over it, but when we saw our kids on Monday, they were ready to go, and we've had a really good week of practice. I think we've gotten better this week, and that's really the important thing, is that we keep getting better every day.
Going on the road, you learn some things. A loss, you learn a lot about your team, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, I was disappointed in our lack of discipline at times last week. The offsides penalties. We had the ball on the ground like 4 times. We had a penalty that forced us to punt. Those kinds of things can't happen when you're playing championship type games, and the reason we played Marist was we wanted a championship type experience. So I think we learned some lessons, and I think it's going to make us better heading into the conference season.
Yeah, you talk about the conference, you talk about October and November, and if you don't win the first one in the NIC, it's awfully tough to win the conference. Adams, big game Friday night.
It's a huge game, and they're so talented, particularly on offense. They've got weapons all over the place. They can score from anywhere at any point in time. So we've really stressed the importance of, again, keeping the ball in front of us and just making tackles and making them go 6, 7, 8 plays, 80 yards. And if we can do that consistently, I think we got a shot.
Sometimes you build up a team and say, hey, this team's really good, but they showed it out here at Steel Stadium last year. I think it was 42-36, overtime game. They were scoring, and you had to keep up with them, and finally you came through with the win.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to do a lot of selling to our kids when it comes to Adams. I think they know the quality of team that they are, the athletes that they have. They're competitive. They didn't back down last year from us at all, and I think we're expecting the same kind of game. I think it's going to be a fourth quarter game, and we're going to have to make some plays at the end to get the win.
I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks through the years. Armstead's got an arm, and he can sling it around. That ball comes out real tight and real fast.
Yeah, he's as good as the one we saw last week. I think they're a little bit different. I think Armstead prefers to throw it versus run it, and I think the other guy would just as soon run it as pass it. So, I think that we're concerned with him in the running game, but I think that if we can control the passing game and make him consistently take short completions, I think, we may be able to force him into some mistakes and keep our offense on the field. That's the other thing. We had a 21-play drive last week, that's the perfect kind of thing to have against someone like Adams, who's so explosive offensively.
We talk a lot about your offense. We talk about the offensive line. How about that defense? What have you seen in the defensive line and the defensive backs so far this year that make you happy to say, we're getting better and we're growing?
I'll tell you the one thing. We stress that we have 9 guys within 5 yards of the ball 90% of the time. And in 3 games, we've had that twice. All right, we had it last week, we had it week 1, and we were really close week 2. I think we were 86% instead of 90%. So they're running to the football, and I think when you run into the football, that makes teams have to go on 7, 8, 9 play drives. And, we put our defense in a bad spot last week on the first offensive play, fumbling the football, and we get a 3 and out and force a field goal. And that's a big deal in a game like that. It's a 3-point game. We actually played pretty well defensively if you take away the penalties, and then we gave away, some 3rd and long conversions that I'd like to see us get off the field. But I've been really pleased with our progress defensively.
Yeah, when you talk about this team and just what you have to do to win this game, what's the key point that you're stressing to your guys to say, we've got to do this if we want to come out with a win Friday?
Yeah, take care of the football. All right, take care of the football on offense and tackle well on defense. We do those 2 things, I like our chances.
We're going to be going over to School Field. You got artificial turf. You got used to it last week a little bit, and I know we're going to have a lot of fans there, so it should be a good time for the Cavemen.
I'll tell you what, playing at School Field is one of the coolest atmospheres around. It's similar to what Marist was, where there's no track, the fans are right on top of you. They always have a fantastic student section. I think it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, thanks,
That's
Dean.
Coach Keith Kinder getting ready for South Bend Adams Friday night. We want you to be there, Cavemen fans.
Go Cavemen.